Hey, shit.
Alrighty. Episode 4.
We feeding families.
Man. Welcome. Good to see you.
We feeding families for breakfast today, bro.
Indeed.
Some morning episode.
A lot happened, I feel like, since we last. So, you seen this HMDD beef? Maybe
Bro,
that's a horrible way to segue into it, but let's get into it, I guess.
Bro, yeah, I seen a couple. I seen a couple of the clips, bro. Ooh, I think my mic fell off. Are we doing?
Nope, it's right there.
Oh, it's right there. I think it just hit my chain.
No, yeah, you good.
Nah, bro, I saw a couple of the clips. First off, I don't know who the other dude is. I know Jack.
YB Clips?
I don't know who YB Clips is, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
All right. So, basically,
Yeah, go ahead.
if you don't, I'll just kind of run us through. So, YB Clips made a series of videos. Apparently, he had been making videos for a couple months, kind of kind of throwing shade at HMDD and GV Gallery and similar like Instagram brands, which we'll get into. And he said he made a claim that Virgil Abloh ruined streetwear, and which is already crazy, and that he basically, with Virgil's 3% rule, which is was this idea, if you're not familiar, that when you take an item or a design that already exists and you change it 3%, it becomes a new design. That just basically ungatekeep people to copying. People are like, oh, we can copy and it's still design. And so he was like, they ruined this. Now you got brands like HMDD and GV who aren't their own brands. They just copy Chrome. So HMDD's not sweet. Chrome Hearts is sweet. Balenciaga's sweet. And HMDD just makes what they make at a cheaper price point. So you're not buying HMDD for HMDD.
You're
buying it for Balenciaga, but it's because you can't afford Balenciaga or you don't want to pay that price tag. Yeah, go ahead.
Before that, I got a question for you though. Do you think that's a problem? Do you think what HMDD is doing is a problem?
Well, let me just kind of give you Jack's response back, because I think there's an interesting, because I think that's right. That's the whole thing. Is like, is it a problem? And then is it true? Like Jack's claim basically in response was like, they blew up with these mesh shorts. I have a couple of pairs, and it's like they would take fitteds that New Era did with the MLB, and they'd recreate them into shorts. So they take color combos and patches.
Got you.
And apparently they had some guy who did design for New Era that they knew, and he would give them the fitteds before the fitteds came out, or something like that. Don't cancel me. And so basically, Jack's like, well, we started this, and then they got a cease and desist from the MLB, and they brought all their suits to him. Basically, their legal team came and went through their warehouse and went through everything. It was like, you can't sell any of this. So then Jack went on a podcast with Superline Wholesale, which is like a wholesale brand in Atlanta.
I know what Superline is, bro.
And then YB Clips was on there too, and basically went and was like, hey, we were told we didn't do this. This got shut down. This was our original idea. This is what blew up. We did this, and then Eric Emanuel did an official license with them. Yeah. So we did it first. We just didn't have the licensing because we're a small brand. So we're bootstrapping it, trying to get there, which I respect. And then he's like, so what we did as marketing, this is so smart. What we did as marketing is we did a free drop. One of my pair of shorts is from that free drop, and I didn't know. Crazy. I just thought it was a way to get rid of old inventory and get their stuff out there as opposed to just sitting on it. So you just paid shipping and you got a free item. So you picked your size and they picked the item.
What year was it? 2023?
This is 2020. No, it's 2023.
Yeah.
So they sent out all the stuff they weren't supposed to sell, which was technically illegal, but now it's they're not getting about it. So that's kind of and then he's like, and then we did yes, we take inspired stuff, but they did the crystal sweats that blew up. They were $200 a pair. They were that was an original design.
Yeah, and he was saying that we worked on this design that long ago, and I understand where you're coming from, because even with the denim set, bro, I had the idea way long before we started it, and then I started seeing every brand drop to.
Well, yeah, there was that. What's that? Shinzo.
You
were like, bro, this is exactly what I wanted, and I was like, well, then we're gonna have to change it because we can't release exactly what I want.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's another first question is I guess how do you define copying? If you've been working on it for 9 months. I'm small, so I can design something now and have the bulk order done by June.
Yeah.
And it's March right now.
Yeah.
I could probably have it done earlier if I didn't sample. But if you're a big brand and you're making 500 units of something, it's going to take longer to make. So it's if I come up with something on my own original idea that HMDD's been working on for a year or something, then it's
Yeah, but I mean, nobody's gonna know that. Nobody's gonna know
I know, but
whoever
is HMDD still copying me if they release it after? So like, let's say I make something and I've been working on it since like I start working on it now and I release it in June. HMDD's been working on a similar project since last June.
But this is what I'm saying. If you release it first to the public, you're copying. But like you're not in the.
But you're not copying.
No, like you're not copying.
But where's the where's the line then?
There's no. I mean, there is no line. I think.
Like,
that's
is that okay to do?
I think. Okay, first off, bro, in the where we're at right now with fashion and just everybody having a brand, I think there's like such a blurred line of like what's okay and what's not. Everybody's copying each other at this point, so I don't think that I think it's
but there's a fine line between copying, like HMDD bootlegs Balenciaga logos.
For sure.
Like Jack said that in his video.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like we're extracting a Balenciaga vibe and putting it into our own spin on it. Now, I think the argument is how much of a spin do you require to put on something
before it's cut.
So like I'll use Creative Blueprint as an example because that's what I know best. The Postman denim that we're releasing on Friday is like a take on the striped denim that everybody was geeking about a year ago, but it's different. It has like a knit stripe as opposed to like just these applique pieces of cotton to like mirror the Balenciaga Adidas ones, and it's a different color scheme and it's similar. Like you group it in there, you're like, this fits with the trend, but I tried to make it different. Now I might not have done a good job, and that's for everybody else to kind of figure out. But I guess it's just like, where's the line with that?
I think. I don't know.
And then it's also like, what's like, yeah, like I don't know, like is it like, and to me, like people miss the mark on like the Virgil 3% thing. Like 3% is not I changed the logo and added a different zipper. That's not 3%. If all there is a logo, a certain fabric color, and a whatever.
Exactly.
Even just changing the color, like yeah, you're changing a huge part of the garment.
But that's not
3%. That's like
point.
Yeah,
0.
like 0.
This what I was gonna say, right?
Because you're not changing the design.
Because I listened to the podcast. I listened to some of the clips, right? What's his name? PB Clips? What's his name?
YB Clips.
YB Clips. My fault, gang.
I'm not gonna lie, he was making no sense in the podcast,
bro. But wait, one thing he said is he was like, HMDD is kind of like Steve Madden.
Yeah.
So this has been in fashion forever. Like people take inspiration or
Steve Madden
copies.
Is rich.
Yeah,
like people love Steve Madden,
and he'd be just copying like, oh, this and this and this and this. But I think it's been around forever. Like copying / taking inspiration / paying homage or whatever you want to call it, right? It's been in fashion for a long time.
Yeah, but there's a right way to do it.
I know, I agree, and I'm not saying this is the right way. I'm just saying it's been around. The way Jack does HMDD, right?
Yeah, and
I think there's I don't think it's a problem with what they're doing, to be completely honest. I don't personally think there's a problem with it. But what I find a problem, and why? Oh, hold on, let me go back. Why I think that is because they're taking items that are outrageously priced. They're taking Balenciaga, they're taking Chrome Hearts, they're taking stuff that like not everybody can afford, right? They are changing it up. They're changing it up enough for you. They're not using Chrome Hearts as
logo
like cross, right? They're not using it, so they do it at a price point where everybody else can afford it. My issue is when another brand now is copying HMDD or copying Chrome Hearts as well at the same price point as HMDD, and then another brand does it. Then I'm like, bro, you copying, you're not offering, like, there's no value in this. It's no, like, why would I buy your brand over buy HMDD's brand, right? And once they start, like, then I feel like that's copying. If HMDD is the first person to do it or the biggest brand to do it and they market it the best, marketing taking Balenciaga, right, the best, and then redoing it, that's good business, bro. You did it at a low price point. You're the first person to do it. You're the biggest one to do it. That's good marketing, and that's good business. Every other Instagram brand that's copying you, though, and trying to do it at the similar price point, I'm like, you're just copying.
Do you think it's sustainable, though? That's kind of where I fall, too. Like, I don't really think they're doing anything wrong.
For them, yeah.
And I'm like I've gotten like the opportunity to kind of interact with Jack here and there, and he's like, sure. I'm really impressed with what he's doing. Like, he was a big inspiration when I started my brand. Like, just so. It's all love. I just wonder when your approach is we're going to take inspiration from a few number of brands like Balenciaga, Chrome Hearts now a little bit, and then also we're going to have our own products that we push. Like they do those recreated the vintage tees.
Yeah.
They were the first brand to do that. Them and GV. I think it was really even them, and like their tees are like $110. I can't front $110 for a t-shirt, but I think they're sick. I think they're super well done. They're made in LA. The distressing, I get it. Like not everybody wants to buy a new t-shirt that's already pre-distressed. I get it. And I think that's another conversation. But my point is, there are things that they're doing that are pushing the bounds of streetwear, that are pushing.
When you say pushing the bounds, so you're saying because they're
in the sense that like they're leading the streetwear market in. Like this distressed T-shirt thing that everybody's doing now. These thrash tees came out of L.A. It came out of L.A.
I want to hear what you're gonna say.
It came out of L.A. vintage markets like the Rose Bowl Flea and whatever.
I would say first person doing that though was Kanye 2016.
Oh, okay.
I would say like that's the idea, right? So the idea of this thrash or like, I'm not gonna say homeless looking wear, but like kind of like thrash distressed stuff like that came from like way back 2016. People were doing that with like regular blanks and like these high quality blanks, whatever. And then I just think the trend evolved into people started wearing graphic tees because at one point it was like everybody was wearing like the rapper Aaliyah graphic tee, right?
Yeah.
And then those two trends kind of meshed together, and then we got now distressed graphics and whatnot. But
right. But I'm saying like people like vintage, like a year ago, vintage was like the biggest thing ever. Like you're getting, I mean, still now you're getting like thrash T-shirts for like $200,
yeah,
and it's like it's half a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, we see that people want this. Let's make original ones that are easier to find that aren't $400. They're $100. So it's the same concept of like there's this expensive market for something, and then so I think that's smart, and I think like the other, but then it's like how sustainable is that from a like. And Jack said this in the podcast. He was like, we're able to continue reinventing ourselves. And part of me wonders, and I don't know what the right answer is, but part of me wonders, like, how strong is your brand image then if you have to continue reinventing yourself? And of course, you always have to adapt and form, like, because the world changes and things change around you. If you stay the same, people are going to move on without you. Yeah, so I get it. But if you're having to constantly, like, I don't know, like, are you, like, I don't know. Are you, what, like, I guess, is their way of reinventing themselves sustainable?
I think for them, is their way, okay, to answer your question, I think for HMDD, it is sustainable. I think if somebody else is trying to recreate what HMDD is doing, it's not going to be sustainable because I think if you're the first person to do it, you're the first, right? If they're always ahead of it.
But GV Gallery's doing it too. GV Gallery bites off Balenciaga way worse than HMDD does.
But the thing is too, it's like just simple marketing, simple business. If your only competitor is GV Gallery and I have the option of GV or HMDD, that's great. If it's GV, HMDD, this brand, who's like smaller, I think them two are kind of like, I'm not going to say gatekeeping it, but I think GV Gallery and HMDD
they're
at the top and they'll be able to do it, and it'll be as long as they continue rinsing and repeating what's already worked for them, I think it is sustainable. I think if you like 16 right now trying to start a brand and you like, oh, I'm gonna copy what HMDD does, gang, you like, it's over with.
It's over with. Yeah. But I think that's why people are upset. Is you're getting brands now, like you're getting brands that are the level of like the size of Creative Blueprint that are small. And I really try not to do this. I'm just like, I think this size where you're small, you have maybe a couple thousand followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
Where now you're biting HMDD's trends.
Yeah, but then it's like
no. That's why people are upset. I'm not saying that.
For sure.
I think that's where the problem comes. Because I think I agree with you, but I think the problem with that is like you can't say, well, if you're at the top of the market, then it's okay, because there is a lot. Like it's just because you make money and people are buying it doesn't mean. And I'm coming from like a fashion like fashion ethics lens.
But
like just because you're making money on it doesn't mean that it's like not copying. I don't think HMDD's doing that, but. Like you can't just say like, oh, just because you're the first person to copy means you can copy.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure that's not what you're saying.
No, yeah.
You know, do you feel me? And then it's also like I'm making this up. Somebody that I know starts a brand and they're like, I really like HMDD. I really like their stuff. I want to make their stuff. I want my brand to like. Be similar to theirs and be a cheaper alternative to theirs, let's say, because now they're selling stuff, they're selling $100 t-shirts. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do the similar t-shirt at $60, right? Well, now you don't know that HMDD is already a cheaper price point for these other brands. Yeah. Or maybe you do know it, But now it's like this.
So now
everything's the same. All these small brands, and so that's been a big focus for me, just from a brand owner perspective and a design perspective. How do I take the trends that are big?
Yeah.
Double knees were big. I mean, HMDD made those like chrome inspired double knees. I think those are so sick. I think those are better than a lot of the chrome ones, like the colors they used. Yeah. Like I like the brown and red.
And the red, the brown and red.
Yeah. The crystal sweats aren't like something I'd wear, but I thought I almost bought them. I was like, these are so sick. Really? Yeah. I was like DMing Jack. I was like, bro, when are these coming out? Like I'm grabbing these. And I didn't end up grabbing them. They did like a chef pant with like a fold over like crotch that folds over. Yeah. And those are really cool to me. So they've done a lot of really good stuff. I try to take...
You're saying really good original stuff, because I think...
Well, really good... Yeah. They've done really good interpretations of other stuff, too. Yeah, I think they're great. They're one of my favorite brands from just like a fan perspective. Yeah. But just like being a fan of fashion. But I think what I've tried to do, and I think what people need to try to do more, and I'm not perfect at this, is take an item and say, this is popular right now. This style, double knees are popular right now. How do I make double knees? How do I push the bounds of double knees? How do I push the bounds of a flannel? Like those crystal flannels were big, like for a while. That Veil and then HMDD did. Yeah. Like, and I did this, and I was like, well, I don't really do like the crystal thing with for CB. So I'm gonna make it like a double layered, same fabric, and I'm gonna add like these leather tags on the back. HMDD did that for their size label, and I was like, this is cool. I'm gonna put it on the outside. Yeah. So I think taking elements from your favorite brands and then making it your own, I think that's just design.
For sure.
I mean, like you said, like it's so oversaturated. It's been so oversaturated. It's oversaturated now, but everything's been done.
For sure. No, a lot. Yeah, everything has been done. I think. Well, just not to fully pivot the conversation, not to fully pivot it, but. All right, I'm talking to the camera. I'm talking to you at the same time. But George is a true like passion for fashion ass nigga. I am not a passion for fashion ass nigga. But I'm like I have a passion for art as like in general.
You know it well too. You know fashion.
I know it looks good. I know like I'm deep into music. I'm deep into sports culture. I'm deep into all these things, and I have been my whole life. So the way that like. What you do with your brand is what I do in my personal style. It was always like, oh, how can I take this trend? But because I'm like, I ain't gonna say I'm egotistical, but you know, I teeter the line a little bit. Like, bro, I'm like, nah, everybody doing that, I'm not gonna do it. I try to like, okay, this is a trend. I'm gonna try to switch it up, or I'm gonna try to add this so I can look different. I think that is you and I, right? We're gonna have like a shared perspective on that's what design should be, or that's what. This is what it is to like if your stuff is good, like we come from this same perspective of like what you do in your like I would also say personal style, but what you do with your brand and what I do in my personal style is from like this, oh, let's take this trend and like switch it up and like kind of elevate it and make it fit our thing.
That to me is design. That to me is the ethos of the 3% rule that everybody likes to talk about.
Is just like
because if I take the double knees that Chrome Hearts does with the leather crosses, and then I look at HMDD and I'm like, they did that. That'd be really cool. Maybe I want to recreate that.
Yeah.
And I put a CB all over it. No, my logo all over it. I've changed 3%, more than 3% of the garment.
Yeah, but you haven't changed more than 3% of the design, and I think that's
But I know. But this is where I'm saying people get it wrong. I'm with you. Yeah. So it's like that to me is the ethos of the 3% rule. Is he's basically saying this has been done.
Yeah.
You go back and listen to that Harvard presentation that rule was originally presented.
Yeah.
He was talking about his design philosophy, and he had like 5 to 6 rules, and I don't remember what the other ones were. I've watched this thing like 5 times.
Passion for fashion, for real.
And he was like, that was one of them. He's like, sometimes I run with the thing where I can take something, change it 3%, and it becomes new.
Yeah.
But if you look at Virgil's stuff. Like, he took especially if you're working for a brand like Louis Vuitton, which he was at the time.
Yeah.
Or you're working with the Jordan 1. Like, there's only so many ways you can change the Jordan to where it's, like, not a new thing. And so he said this. He's like, I treat it as an object. And so instead of a wearable shoe where I change the fabrics and the patterns and the colors, no, I built off of it like an object. That's where the idea of the tag came from. That's where the idea of, like, printing over things or, like, ripping off the Nike logo and having just the stitching outline of it that they did on the blazer, I think it was. So it's like, that to me is that is like the 3% rule. Is I'm changing like the physical nature of this thing by 3%.
Okay.
Because Louis Vuitton. Wait, one more example.
Yeah, go,
Louis Vuitton. I don't know bags, but Louis Vuitton they do all their trunks and stuff, and he did like the transparent, like it's a clear, like translucent fabric.
Okay.
With the LV monogram all over it. It looks like a crystal gloss. It almost looks like glass.
Ooh, I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's crazy. Here,
I was gonna say you gotta pull that up.
And so he did this, and it's like Louis Vuitton has like they're a like traditional fashion house. You have to. There are very strict guidelines in which you can design.
Yeah.
Everybody's so mad about this Pharrell thing. If it's and yeah, Virgil did push the bounds because he brought his streetwear take on it.
Yeah.
And Pharrell's done less of that, and I think people like that transition people are upset about. But Pharrell, like, I don't know, but I'm just guessing that behind closed doors, Pharrell is like stifled with rules and guidelines, you know? Yeah. And so he's like, you know what? And so Virgil was able to do what he could with this and in really unique ways. Let me find Virgil Abloh.
All right.
Or even the trunk. I'll look up the trunk. Bag.
I don't even think I've ever. Maybe I.
Yeah,
have.
you've seen
maybe
it.
I've seen
people
it.
like
I've seen interpretations of it. Yeah, I've seen people like other people make it. Yeah.
So like that to me is like that's 3%. It's the same trunk.
Yeah.
You switch the fabric out. Now, I guess I was just saying you can't just switch the fabric out, but like there, like he's like there's all this dynamic to it. Like there's this shine when the light hits it. All those things seem to me to like change the product.
But again, we offering our perspective on it because somebody could.
All the design professionals are gonna have a field day in the comments with my explanation of that.
And like what I'm saying is right. You got a graphic tee on right now. It's a t-shirt, bro. It's a white t-shirt. If somebody like say I know a kid right now that's gonna go on his iPad and changing like, oh, I have this idea of this graphic I could put on. Is that a 3%? Like, is that kid a designer or is he like? Would you consider that design or not?
Wait, if
you were to take the exact same shirt you have. But blank. So if you were to take your shirt and flip it inside out, and it's a white t-shirt, but he just has this idea of like, oh, I could take this picture from this and this picture from that and put together some other graphic. So like, some random graphic. Is that like, is he a designer?
Original? Yeah.
So.
But that's because I think it depends on the context of the product. This is interesting.
Yeah.
It depends on the context of the product. There's only so much you can change on a graphic t-shirt. You can
That's
change the graphic and the cut. And the fabric. Those are 3 things. Basically, that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe a wash, but that to me, I would group in with the fabric.
Distress and all that.
Right, but that I would group in with like the type of fabric you use and stuff. Yeah. So, if all right, the color hasn't changed because it's a white graphic tee. Maybe you change the fabric and then you put a new graphic on it. I also think it's okay to bite directly off old references. Like I really like the way this graphic's laid out. Let me use it for this event I have coming up. I just bit off an old strip club graphic for this event I have coming up. And it's like, it's different. I changed it and I took elements out and I added my own elements in, but the layout's very similar. You put them next to each other, you're like, oh yeah, you drew inspiration from this. Or somebody drew inspiration from somebody.
But then...
But my entire brand can't be built on biting from other brands. Sure. I think that's the crux.
Okay, why not?
Because that's not a brand.
What is it?
Merch.
Okay. That's so like, how you feel about these people? Right? They get Superline. They're gonna get a Superline.
They get a blank, yeah.
Right, and they just throw their logo on it. That's not a brand. That's merch.
If that's all you do.
And I agree.
If that's all you do.
I'm like, what? Like
this stuff's nuanced. Like people want it to be black and white.
That's facts. It's facts. I mean, it's art. Because
you got dark wash jeans on.
Yeah.
I can make a pair of gray dark wash jeans with a similar fading on it, but I changed. I mean, I don't want the white contrast stitching or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, fix them. They look good though. Anyways.
But
you feel me? And then it's like, damn. It's like that shit. Like I'm not gonna be able to reinvent the wheel with gray jeans. You know how many gray jeans there are out there? You just go to the brand you like. You know, so there's certain.
But then are those people designers then though? Like, or are they like, what do you call that?
I mean, I guess like, if I go work for American Eagle, am I a fashion designer?
Are you a fashion designer?
I think so.
But it's like, bro, it's jeans. You can't make new.
There's different sects of fashion. Like I think HMDD and streetwear by its nature.
Yeah, let's.
Granted, this is a white guy talking about streetwear, so just preface.
That's
another conversation too. And then also YB Clip said some crazy stuff about like Atlanta pushing streetwear, which we got to get into.
That's right. Yeah.
But my thing is, there's different sects of fashion because streetwear has always been about being connected to specific subcultures, skating, then integrated with music, hip hop, and sports, basketball. Now there was also there was skating and that's where like Supreme and Stussy came from.
Stussy came from surfing
and skate.
Okay.
So you get like. Originally, it was a lot of like skateboarding. That was like the root of it. Like Virgil skated when he was a kid. Like all of these things, right? Like that was a lot of people's. I didn't skate, but that was a lot of people's introduction to streetwear. Mine was basketball.
Yeah.
Like once it integrated with sport, I was like, oh, this is cool.
Absolutely.
So I think streetwear is there to represent those subcultures and provide a uniform for the subcultures.
Yeah.
And now that Virgil was so good at passion for fashion. What Virgil was so good about, in my opinion, and why he was the man, was he connected streetwear, which had this very specific use case for these subcultures, to the fashion industry, high fashion, right?
Fashion,
that's what Off-White was. It was, Off-White was like the space between gray and white, defining the space between gray and white as Off-White, and that was a metaphor for defining the space between luxury and streetwear. That was the brand.
You just told me something.
So you have these people coming on and basically saying, like, all right, I'm going to connect these two things. But there's always been brands like American Eagle and Abercrombie and Fitch and Aeropostale. One of you guys, please give me a job. That have been out there as commercial fashion brands.
Yeah.
That their job is to provide to the masses.
The masses of people with
that maybe aren't that interested in fashion, but like want things to look good and want to like present themselves in a polished manner, and that's what those brands are for. That doesn't mean you're not a fashion designer. And then there's then if you really want to get into it, there's your couture and haute couture houses, which haute couture is all handmade. It's super expensive, commissioned. Now sometimes it's not even commissioned. There's couture shows and there's runway fashion. That top of things where it's runway fashion, and now you have streetwear kind of seeping into that. Like I'm a big fan of the brand Fugazi, whatever. They did a fashion show. They've done New York shows. Off-White did New York fashion shows. You do like, there's this guy Danny. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's an influencer, Asian guy on Instagram. His brand is like super sick, like Japanese inspired type streetwear, and his last name starts with an N, and he did a fashion show. To me, if you're presenting in the context of fashion shows and high fashion, then your job is to push the balance design-wise and to be original and innovative. Absolutely. If HMDD put their chrome-inspired pants on the runway, you have to do it in a way that's sending a very specific message. Maybe you're critiquing Chrome Hearts as a brand or the culture around Chrome Hearts. Like that to me is okay, but there has to be a commentary around it because when you're on the runway, yes, you're presenting a collection, but you're also storytelling.
And this is what I was gonna say. Like fashion, I'm kind of piggybacking off you at this point, but like fashion is it. There are different sects of fashion, right? And I think people that are outside of the fashion space, right? They kind of group everybody together. Like they group everything together in a way. So they'd be like, "Oh, Shaq, like you a fashion dude. Like you gonna put on this?" And like they'll show me something crazy like avant-garde, like big shoulder pads, something that I'm like, nah, like I wouldn't wear that. Like he was like, they're like, bro, you want to be a fashion dude so bad, so you would wear something like this, and they're thinking I'm gonna take something that you would wear on the runway and put it on the street and walk around with it. I'm like, nah, like bro, I wouldn't.
Well, you can't. Like some people do that well.
Yeah, but like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
That wear Rick Owens. I'm judging y'all.
People wear Rick Owens.
Weak ass Rick Owens. Anyways, yeah.
What I would like to switch into though.
Yeah, please.
How you feel about the how do you feel about him saying like now streetwear is no longer for the people in the street, like it's no longer for like what streetwear is turned into now is like he was like it's the hipsters. What's his name? YB Clips?
Yeah.
YB Clips, he was like no, it's the hipsters rocking like big baggy pants, but like streetwear originated in the streets. It originated with what the kids was wearing in the street. I'm like I can say what you can't say. I can say what you can't say right now.
Okay.
What he meant.
Wait, no. What I meant. Don't.
No. I can say what you can't say. What I'm about to say is something that I feel like if you say that it's gonna be like, oh yeah.
Oh, it's me. Okay, go ahead.
Like you probably shouldn't say that.
Okay, go ahead.
But what he means is like
YB clips or me?
What YB clips means is fashion is. He thinks like he's like streetwear fashion is meant for black. I'll put it. I was gonna say niggas in the street, but black people that are in the streets, like the what they call D-boy fashion is what he's referring to as streetwear as a whole, right? And he's saying now that's where this is his perspective. He thinks that streetwear started off like in the streets with like black culture and black people, right? And now streetwear is starting to shift into something that's like it's what you would see in a local matcha shop, right? It's like this is what streetwear is now. And he was trying to say like
LA, like
it's like LA, like crop
blank tees with the baggy, with perfect wash, with my active jeans and my loafers,
and loafers or like just wearing Converse and stuff like that. And I'm like, I didn't agree, to be honest. I didn't agree.
Listen, I like not even to be that guy because I'm sure I could have an opinion on this, but I'm not gonna because I think that's not like you're getting away from what the conversation should be.
Yeah.
Like maybe like it's important to acknowledge the origins of streetwear.
Yeah.
And I think again, it was originally like those brands were originally representing specific subcultures. I'm using Supreme as an example because I feel like people use Supreme as like the pinnacle of streetwear.
Facts.
That was a skate brand.
Facts.
Always. And it, and I don't know, and not that a certain race of people skate, like that. I don't really know that much about skating, so I'm going to get myself canceled. But you get like, I don't want to get I just lost, what did Timothy Chalamet say? I just lost 14 cents of viewership when he talked about the ballet thing. You see that? But anyways, all right, sorry, don't cancel me. He was like, I think the point is that his point to me that he's making is streetwear, the market of streetwear has changed. Right? Like that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
And it's like, is that a problem?
That's what he was saying.
But is that a problem? Those things change.
No, but
just like high fashion, like Balenciaga was not always a streetwear.
Facts.
Demna came in and made it like people now associate it with as a streetwear luxury brand, but it wasn't always that. If you saw the recent show, it's not really that anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. It's important to acknowledge the origins of things. I think it's super important, but I think you can't be resistant to change. You can be resistant to appropriation.
That's what I was gonna say, and I think he was trying.
And if he's claiming that people are appropriating streetwear to make money off of specific cultures that have been what's the word?
Marginalized,
taken advantage of for profit, like commoditized, if you want to say that. Then now it's there's probably some validity in that. I just think I'm not sure I agree that it's been appropriate. Like I don't know. Like I guess I'll use myself as an example. Like am I biting off of black culture by having a brand? I'm asking.
No.
But I think that's kind of his point, isn't it?
But I think what his point was is more so that he was like, the way YB clips made it sound is like people are coming in. He was like, I'm so happy that Jack, who is the owner of HMDD, he was like, I'm happy that he's a black dude because what I see right now is like the biggest streetwear brands are some white dude basically profiting off of. He's like those baggy jeans, baggy stuff. That's the 90s. He's like that's 90s.
Case?
He's like that's the 90s. That's like 90s. Gangster fashion. That's how he put it. That's literally what he said, right? And he's like, and he was like, and now people are stealing it and they putting it on like this white dude going in the LA like cafe and he's wearing these big baggy jeans, but it's like they're not. There's no like I don't want to say regard, but there's no. What is the word? Not homage.
There's no like. There's.
He's not.
You're not crediting.
He's not. Yeah. There's no like. He's not crediting where like the idea came from. But I'm like, I don't
know.
I personally don't agree, and this is
like I don't know. Like is black culture like the only group that was wearing baggy stuff in the 90s? I don't know. That might be yes.
I think it was rap culture that started that though. I would say hip hop. I wouldn't even say rap at that point.
This to me opens up a whole bunch of other doors. Just because it's like, well, like if you're a white guy, again, I'm just playing the opposite opinion.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I'm a white guy that loves hip hop culture, and I'm like, man, all my favorite rappers and the people that like I listen to and the people that I like enjoy watching and keeping up with on MySpace or whatever, if they're all like they're rocking all these brands, like I'm a fan of these brands now. I'm a fan of these brands. That a bad thing?
No, I think what he was saying is though now people are starting to create brands and profiting off of ideas that came from from black culture, right? But what Jack's good response was is what you and I both said. Streetwear started off as for skaters, and majority of the ideas that came within streetwear started from skate culture.
My art school professor, my fashion that teaches all the fashion classes at art school.
A passion for fashion.
she shout out to you. She's super smart, and I think one of the biggest things I've learned from her that she hasn't maybe directly said. Actually, she's definitely said directly. Was if you're not doing research at the beginning of a project, you're signing yourself up for a PR crisis.
Yeah, facts.
And to me, that's why I'm kind of hesitating to like really have an opinion on this, because I think it's important to have research just from an artistic standpoint. Because if you're going to comment on something and have a commentary on something, that's why you see all these brands that get canceled. Mm-hmm. And then when brands do, like at fashion shows, and then when brands do something really well, like Willie Chavaria at New York Fashion Week in September, he did a commentary on immigration. Because I think he's a Latin American or Hispanic guy, designer, and he did a commentary on the immigration crisis happening in the U.S. And he showed it at Fashion Week, or maybe it was I don't even remember. It might have been in Paris. Regardless, it was super powerful, and I saw so many videos about it. And that to me is like, that's done right. You're speaking from your own experience, your lived experience, and then also like research, and the models he had in there, I'm sure, were part of the story, and there was like kind of a performance aspect in the runway. And that is a proper commentary. So if you're using your brand to have a commentary on something, or you're going to get on a podcast like we are right now and talk shit, you got to know what you're talking about.
Facts.
And that's why people get in trouble. Hey, quick break from the episode. Just wanted to announce that Creative Blueprint's dropping their Postman denim next Friday, March 27th at noon EST. We'd love to see you guys on the website. Make sure to go check out our campaign video. Just dropped on our Instagram as well. All the information's right here. And back to the episode. Peace. Love you guys. All right, so the next thing YB Cliff said was that Atlanta is pushing the bounds of streetwear. They're the innovators. They're the front runners,
bro. Okay, I'll be real. Like that's an opinion.
I've only been to Atlanta once, and I was not into fashion yet. So
I'll be real. I've been to Atlanta a few times, but I'll put it like this. That's it. That's his opinion. That's his opinion, and I ain't gonna tell him his opinion.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion, even if it's wrong.
Yes, but I don't agree. I don't agree. But I think
it's not even close. Give me a break.
All
right. So his commentary was.
Yeah,
His commentary was in the podcast, which we'll link in the description. Go watch it if you want kind of more context. But his position was, Atlanta's pushing the bounds of streetwear, but you wouldn't know until you come to Atlanta, because it's kind of out the way. It's not in New York or LA. But to me, that is literally a contradictory statement.
Yeah, then you're not pushing the bounds because nobody
Also, I'm about to be a hater real quick, but this new YB Clip's got a brand, and I don't know if it sells or not. Like, I don't know how his customers are.
Got you.
But to me, if you're going to talk about your city or the place you're from pushing the bounds of streetwear, I just think, I don't know, like, I think if you're going to push the bounds of streetwear, your brand should be attempting to do that.
Oh, so
like,
you're saying
he's from Atlanta. YB Clips is from Atlanta, and he has a brand. And he's saying Atlanta fashion they're the ones they're the innovators of streetwear. If that's the case, then I should look at your brand and be like, wow, this is really different. And I look at it and I say, I've seen this before. And so, like, that's just kind of my opinion, to be honest. And
hey, I don't know what bro's brand looks like, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
You could pull that up.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is, to be honest.
But I think. I actually don't have anything to say. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't have anything to say. But I don't know what I'm commenting on, so I can't.
YB Clips.
I do really think though, like YB Clips' whole.
Dude, I looked up YB Clips and it just came up with Young Boy. All right,
Yeah,
never mind.
yeah.
Never mind.
What I think YB Clips was doing though, I think he was just trying to use his platform to throw back out there dope boy fashion. Really, that's what he means, because Atlanta fashion is really like this. Even the whole South, because I was just in South Carolina. I was just down there, and I was outside, and I was like, I can't stand the way these niggas dress, bro. Like, I can't stand it. But I think that he was just trying to use that as like saying like, this is still streetwear too. Like I think that our kind of fashion is getting kind of pushed out or like left out or exiled because it's no longer what TikTok fashion
What
is.
does it say that?
But I think that he was trying to but that's because they've changed it though. They've changed it from dope boy fashion. Now it's synonymous with ATL fashion in a way, unless you're talking about some super underground like Rick Owens tight jeans. But even
he was
then,
talking about like people wearing Amiri jeans.
But that's dope boy fashion.
Yeah.
And dope boy fashion again. That's the contradict. Like that's a controversial phrase. So they'd be like, oh, it's Atlanta fashion. But that's what he means. Like that's the cover up for what he means. And I think he was just trying to push it out there. Like this is still fashion. We're kind of getting like left out, or you guys kind of like pushing us to the side, saying like this is no longer fashion because it doesn't fit what TikTok says is fashion, which is New York and LA fashion. But do I think it's all streetwear? Yes. Do I think that is good streetwear? No, I don't. I think there's some people that do Atlanta fashion good, and I think there's some people that do New York fashion good, and I think there's people that do Atlanta fashion bad, and New York fashion bad, and LA fashion bad. But the
I don't know. I've never seen Atlanta fashion that I liked personally, but that's just like my personal opinion.
And I think also, well,
like it doesn't mean it's not like good to somebody else.
Yeah. I think the reason why I'm saying Atlanta fashion though is because I am attributing it to also dope boy fashion and what rappers wear. And you got to think like that's right. I grew up. I won't even say grew up. 3-4 years ago, I'm rocking baggy jeans, and all my man's like, bro, you wearing the big beefy ass jeans, bro. You like, why you got these? You got these beefy jeans on? You wearing this button up flannel, bro? One of my man's, a direct quote from PJ, bro. He said, when they're rocking a cool pair of skinny jeans, a shirt to match your shoes, and a fitted. When did that go out of style? When did that become a problem? He's like, when did that become a problem? Because y'all saying this is ass. We should be wearing these big beefy jeans now. And I'm like, I would not wear it. I'm not gonna wear it. I'm not gonna wear that. But at the same time, you can still wear a good fit on with Amiri jeans on, and then throw your Jordans on and throw some shirt or like hoodie on, whatever, and have the proportions fit well, and it's a good fit. Like I don't think that's bad fashion. I think YB Clips though was trying to use that as ground to stand on to say like this is still, you can still dress well, because now the what I want to say, fashion nucleus, like the shared conscience of what TikTok fashion is like, oh, that's automatically bad. Like that's automatically not good. And I think when I was reading between the lines, obviously it's my own perspective on it, but I think that's what he was trying to say. And I was like, I hear you, I understand you. I think that he expressed it in the worst way possible by saying that Atlanta fashion was trying to push the bounds of streetwear. Because I'm like, absolutely not. Like, even with what I just said, like, oh, that's another question, bro. What do you think New York is pushing the bounds of fashion? Sorry to cut myself off.
I don't know.
Do you think, like, what is pushing the bounds of fashion? This is the last question I ask you, because I feel like you're more knowledgeable than me. What's like, is it wearing something that's like way different, way out there? Is it what does that even, what does that mean?
I think it's like a well-informed approach to innovating on what is already out there.
Okay. Got you. I'm gonna just take that. I'm gonna leave it. The other thing that he said, he was like, this is what he meant. He was saying like, now people are saying like, if you don't understand the history of fashion and what goes into it, and like know these designers and know these shows, and basically be a passion for fashion ass nigga, then your opinion on fashion doesn't matter, and that you can't, like, you don't really know how to dress good.
Who said that? He said that?
That's kind of what YB Clips was. He was saying that now that is what people are basing what's good fashion, what's bad fashion, or what's like.
It's based on if you know it.
He was saying like, these are the people right now that are that HMDD is making clothes for is the people that know fashion and know like fashion houses and all these things.
I mean,
right? And
brands are like this is business though. Like certain companies serve different customers.
No, for sure. But he was saying like that group of people are the ones that are commenting on saying like, this is what streetwear is now. Like I know.
Yeah, no, I get where he's coming from, but like, I don't know. Like at the end of the day, like like fashion's a commodity. Like people are like, yeah, it's an art form, but like if people aren't subscribing to the art form, or aren't fans of the art form, or aren't like if the majority of people like a certain thing, that's probably what's
the best thing,
driving the direction.
What's the best thing? Yeah,
it just goes back to the copying. Like if HMDD is the one where all the customers are going and they're making the most money, then other brands are going to look to them to recreate what they did.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's pushing this. I think that's why people have a problem. This is full circle, but I think that's why people have a problem with maybe HMDD copying. Is that oh well, they're the ringleader. So if they're copying, then all these other brands are going to copy because they are pushing the bounds. To me, that's evidence that they're pushing the bounds. Maybe is what I'm trying to say.